Shalom. I want to make sure I'm going headed to the east real quick. You know, towards Jerusalem. I'm looking northeast, that way. All right, Shalom. Start with giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, B'chak. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, and great millstone for teaching me this truth. It's your brother Rabbi Nap coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, let me check. Let's see what the so-called white man is doing in the world. See what he's up to. Google News. Top stories. Trump and Putin are now holding their high-stakes summit in Alaska live. Okay, so what are they going to be talking about? Peace again? They always talking about peace. He said in 24 hours when he's the president, he's going to stop the war in Ukraine. Is that happening? No. It's not. And it's not going to happen. Okay. What else is there? That's pretty much it, man. Let's see top news. D.C. Attorney General sues Duck administration over hostile takeover of police. Wow, they call it a hostile takeover over the police. By the time he's done with his presidency, if it ever comes to an end, because there's already, it looks like he was already trying to put something in place where he can pretty much be a president for a consecutive of 8 years or something like that. Who knows? This might be the end, you know? He gets started into a war that you can't get out of, and there's certain loopholes where you can remain in presidency. I don't know what all the loopholes are, but they're there. They're not put there for no reason. That's what he likes to do. He likes to set up things. He might not use it right then and there, but he gonna be like, hey, I implemented this 30 years ago, 20 years ago. There's a lot of things in place that has already been put in place so we can bring forth whatever he's going to bring forth in the future. That's why he puts it in movies. You can't say that he didn't tell you. You can't say nobody told you, man. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and we were talking about the RFID microchip. He brought it up. And he said, that's the mark of the beast. I said, shit, if you know that. This was a dude from Texas, man. He said he knew that was that was the RFID microchip. So it's not like these videos are not falling. Excuse me. It's not like these videos aren't reaching who it needs to reach, or however that information is getting to where it needs to go. The Lord is doing all these things, and He tells you that's the same way. He says in what's that book? He says Deuteronomy. I think it's Deuteronomy 32. Let me just jump here. Start right there. It tells you that His word should not go out void. It says it in Isaiah, but He says something in Deuteronomy because He compares His word like water or rain. I think it's in Deuteronomy 32. Yep, Deuteronomy 32:1. Give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. So that's all of creation, man. Okay, they're all waiting, just like it says in Romans the 8th chapter, that the creatures are waiting for the manifestation of the children of God. Let me just grab it real quick. But that's kind of like what it is, man. We all want to see what the Lord's talking about. Well, the creature wants to see it. The elect want to see it. 2/3 of y'all, I can't speak for y'all. I don't know what y'all want to see. Clearly, you want to see this place continue. You want to continue to be in captivity. Well, the rest of the world doesn't. I forgot where it's at. I'm going to start from the top. Romans 8:1, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. Yeah, so there's no condemnation for those who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. How do we walk after the Spirit? Hey, we be obedient to what the Lord's will is. We can try to keep the law, statutes, and commandments and live a righteous life. More so than before we knew this knowledge. We didn't know how to live righteously, but now we got that information, and we're gonna strive to walk in that path. Romans 8:2, for the law of the Spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushai have made me free from the law of sin and death. Yeah, it made me free from the law of sin and death. It made me free from the law of sin and death because now there's a good chance that the Lord, he's dealing with you, man. You might be covered with the blood of Yahweh Shai if you got this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because you could have got, look how many Jakes got put to death not knowing who they were in these last days, man. There's a lot. That's every single day someone's getting put to death and they lack this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They're dying with the so-called white man in their mind coming to save them. How sad is that, man? Look at the history of this devil, and you still thinking he can save you? He's not a savior, he's the devil. Romans chapter 8, verse 3, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh. Yeah, he condemned sin in the flesh. How did he condemn sin in the flesh? He walked obediently to the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly. Okay, so he condemned sin in the flesh. Okay, let me grab this in Romans chapter 3. Romans chapter 3. So we want to do the same thing, or at least strive to be like that. And wherever we fall short, the Lord's blood will cover us. Chapter 3, Romans 3 and 20. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin. Yeah, by the law is the knowledge of sin. Because we know, 1 John 3 and 4, for sin is the transgression of the law. So now we know, knowing the law, now we know what sin is. And we want to avoid sin as much as possible. But we know we're also in this flesh. And this sin is going to, that there's a war that you got, there's a battle that needs to be taking place, man. So you need to be given the spirit to actually fight. Okay? Romans 8 and 4, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. Yeah, so the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. We're walking to the best of our ability by practicing the righteous acts continually, that we can stay in that path that's going to keep us in out of harm's way, Lord's will. We are part of that number. Okay? Or keep us occupied in prophecies. Keep us occupied in what's in this Bible compared to the world, man, because there's a lot of distractions that can keep you away from what actually really matters, which is the Lord, man, which is these prophecies, which is the kingdom, which is Yahweh Shai, HaMashiach, ruling over these heathen. That's what matters, man. Because nothing can actually be changed to where it needs to be without the Lord. The Lord needs to be in his proper position down here on the earth. He's where he needs to be up there, but right now, you know, we're waiting for him to come back, and in the meantime, we're trying to get right, so we don't get destroyed in that time. Because the time that's coming, man, I don't know what kind of game plan, kind of carnal game plan you can conjure up that you think is going to save you in these last days. I mean, especially with you not being able to just go to the store and grab water. You know, you're not being able to just use the bathroom like you used to. It's gonna be crazy out here, man. It's gonna be crazy out here. So, with that understanding that there's gonna be a day that's coming where you're not gonna have the luxuries that you have today, it's the best thing to do is try to stay occupied in this book and build your faith up. Okay? Romans 8 and 5, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. So if you are occupied in prophecies, you're going to be minding the things of the spirit and not after the flesh. Okay? And minding the things of the spirit pertains to your well-being and the well-being of your family by doing this work, man. By staying occupied, by staying faithful, by believing, enduring until the end, and not just thinking, oh man, I want to go back to just, you know, back into the world like there's something out there. Ain't nothing out there in the world, man. The world's languishing, man. If you're going back to something that's languishing now, this word should be building you up, making you feel renewed in the spirit every single day. Because that's where you need to be renewed. There's gonna be times you ain't gonna feel always, you know, this time it's gonna get weak. The Lord got weak. John the Baptist got weak. There's gonna be times, but hey, you gotta rely on the spirit, man. You gotta rely on this word. Okay, you gotta trust in Yahweh Shai. Okay? Romans 8 and 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Yeah, exactly. Spiritually minded is being life and peace. Meaning you can be content with just having this word, having these promises, having the kingdom of heaven, knowing that's coming to you, knowing you're Israel. You should be content with that. Not only that, the Lord going to take care of his people. Those of you who believe in this word, you're going to be all right. Okay? That's what he said. So you can trust in that. But this word, this world, I mean, you can't trust in this world, man. Every day is something new. Every day he's trying to take another little piece of your peace, your life away from you. All the way to the point where he's going to take it away from you with this MOTB. So you want to be built up in that time, man. Romans chapter 8 and 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. Yeah, you're not subject to the laws of God because you're like a natural brute beast. That's why you gravitate to the Catholic Church and the Christian Church where they tell you you don't have to keep these laws. You gravitate to that wickedness, man. Oh, we don't have to be obedient to the Lord. Shalom alak Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. And Tawada for telling me my audio was off, man. That means a lot to me, man. You know, because some people, man, they won't tell you nothing, man. They won't tell you a damn thing, and you gotta expect that from people, man. I remember when I first started doing videos, I didn't even have audio for like a whole month. Whole month. Nobody said nothing. And then one brother said something. He's like, yo, bro, there's no audio, man. Because I wasn't listening to my videos. And, hey, man, the water for that, brother, man. I was using some app trying to do videos on the app, but it don't work on Apple, you know. But thank you for that. Thank you for that. Romans chapter 8 in verse 8. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God. That's why we don't want to be in the flesh. We want to please the Most High to the best of our ability. Especially when we knew when we were transgressing, we were making ourselves an enemy with the Most High. Imagine you being an enemy with the Most High, man. Come on, man. And he had you in his scope. He could have shot you, man. He could have got you down, man. And he didn't. He had mercy on you. You know? So that doesn't mean continue to be wicked. Especially now that you know he sent his only begotten son. Imagine you sending your firstborn son for a nation that disrespected you, that committed or for a wife that cheated on you. Come on, you ain't gonna give your son up for a wife like that, man. You're gonna be like, man, F this whore, man. But that's kind of like the relationship between the nation of Israel and the Most High, man. We transgressed against him, but he still had mercy on us. So the least we could do is do the work that he told us to do. Okay, and stand firm in it. Stand firm in righteousness. That's not hard to do, man. Romans chapter 8, verse 9, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so be that the spirit of God dwell in you. That's right, you'll be in the spirit if the spirit of God dwell in you. Yeah, you might still be messing up, you know, because you are in the flesh. But you obtaining this knowledge, you having the spirit to come out and prophesy the downfall of this place, having that contrite spirit, yeah, that's from the Lord, man. That's from the Lord. And he said he's going to pardon those. His elect, they didn't commit any sin in the eyes of the Lord, man. You know, so that contrite spirit is another key token that you might just be part of the elect, especially when it comes to transgressing these laws. You know, small things, man. That means a lot. Especially to the Most High. A repentant, contrite spirit. Look at King David. He should have got put to death according to the law, right? And the Lord showed him mercy. We need that same type of mercy. Romans chapter 8. I forgot the precept I was looking for. In verse 9. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his. Yeah, so the Lord's not claiming you to be of his. If you ain't got the spirit. And a lot of you don't. You got the spirit of death. The spirit of unbelief. He's not dealing with you. If he is dealing with you, you're going to learn. You're going to see. You're going to increase. Your faith's going to be built up. You're going to see that this place is going to be destroyed. You're going to be prudent. Okay? If not, you're going to eventually run out of hope. You're going to give up and you're going to die. Romans chapter 8 and verse 10. And if Hamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness, okay? If he be in you, then you're alive. If he's not in you, then you're dead. Romans chapter 8 and verse 11, but if the spirit of him that raised up Yahweh Shai from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Hamashiach from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwelleth in you. He's going to be doing the same thing to you. Okay? So we need to trust in that. That the Most High God he's got the power to do that. Okay? I mean, I like to think of it just from if I could, to make it plain, the fact that we just out here prophesying the downfall of so-called white men, hey, that's a blessing. That's a great thing. It tells you in Isaiah the 54th chapter. That's why I love seeing brothers come out here and do this work, man. Isaiah 54:17, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Yeah, their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. This is our heritage. We condemning the so-called white man. He's trying to condemn us. He's trying to kill you. He's the one polluting your food. He's the one taking your chicken and bleaching it. And then you boiling it at home, you baking it, you eating bleach, man. He's killing you. He's poisoning you. You're not supposed to eat bleach. He's bleaching the damn chickens, man. Imagine that. And if you want to go the Daniel route, you got pesticides on your vegetables. You can't escape judgment, man. You can't escape your food being defiled. Okay? We can just hope that the Lord gives us our health, gives us the capacity to sustain ourselves, and we don't get plagued in the body, man. It's a miracle that you're not plagued in your body when you wake up, man. You got strength to do anything. Never mind glorifying the Lord. Who got enough energy to do that? You barely want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. You want to go to work? No. For the damn devil? I don't. I'm tired of this devil, man. He need to work for us. He's a servant. Imagine your servant ruling over you. Silliness. Romans chapter 8 and verse 12. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors, not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're in debt, man. Because all those times the Lord could have rewarded us with judgment, he didn't. He had mercy. Now we gotta, hey man, we gotta keep these thoughts to the best of our ability, man. Not debt to the flesh, man. Okay, and make it privy for you to continue in your wickedness. No, you're supposed to pay off that debt in righteousness, man. All right, walking after the Spirit, feeding the sheep, doing the work. That's how you pay off your other debts. That's how you pay off your student loans, right? You go to work, you pay off your rent, you go to work. Well, this is how you pay off your debt, but you got to do it in righteousness. You got to keep the law statute. You got to be obedient. Okay? And that's what the Lord's looking for in his elect. Okay? Because we know 2/3 of y'all just going to die, but you're going to hear the word anyway. That's why we try to go in locations where you can walk, you can't deny the word. And that was right in your face. That's why we on these highways and hedges, so you can hear the word. You ain't even got to go on the internet. You got his men on the highways and hedges yelling it out to you. Okay? Romans chapter 8 and verse 13, for if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. Come on, man. It's very simple. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. But mortifying the deeds of your body is don't commit sin anymore. That's you mortifying the deeds. You're making your body live righteously. You're not allowing it to, I want to do this, I want to be part of the world. The flesh wants to be a part of the world, but you're like, nah, you're going to study. No, you're going to go do a video. No, you're going to go prophesy the downfall of this place, man. That's opposite than going out to the bars and the clubs, drinking, chilling with women, getting drunk, getting high. That's different. That's not you condemning this place. That's you being part of this world. We're mortifying the deeds of the body, man. And it comes with a reward. This is our 401k. Your 401k is going to crash. Okay? Our 401k is salvation, mercy, grace, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's what we're invested in. It's the book of Romans, chapter 8, and verse 14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. If you're led by the Spirit of God, you are the sons of God. Okay? Romans 8:15, for ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. Yeah, we received the spirit of adoption. Okay? Just like those branches that were broken off of the vine to be grafted back in, that's us. We're the ones being grafted back in. We were living according to the course of this world, and then we repented. That's us being grafted back in. Okay, not a spiritual Israelite. No, we're Israelites indeed. Okay, by our spirit, and this is what this is getting into. Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God, and that's why we do the things that we do, because our spirit it bears witness to the spirit of this book. Everything that's said, this is a spiritual book. We feel that connection. Okay? Unlike the rest of you heathen. Okay? You a natural born heathen. Well, 2/3 of y'all hear this word, y'all buck up against it because now you got to refrain from being a heathen. You don't want to refrain from being a heathen. You want to continue to be one, so good luck with that. But this spirit this is why we know without documentation, without 43-1 or whatever, like, DNA test and, blood work. We know that with the Israelites, according to the Spirit, okay? Romans 8:17, and if children, then heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ, who y'all call Christ is Hamashiach, the Messiah, being joint heirs with him. So be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. Yeah, we want to be glorified with him when he comes in and glorifies the Father while putting y'all to death, putting Babylon to shame, to a public execution. The whole world's going to see this place be destroyed. It explains that in Revelation, the 18th chapter. That's like a public execution or a public stoning. When these thermonuclear missiles hit this place, the rest of the world's going to see the destruction, and they're going to know we ain't going to go that route. We don't ever want to go that route. Okay? And when you see Israel being beamed up into the skies and escaping all this judgment, you're going to know that a prophet has been among them. You're going to know that the children of Israel, those are the sons of God indeed. It ain't going to be a mystery anymore. Who's Israel, and is this white dude an Israelite, or is this black dude a Hamite? You're going to know who's who. Okay? Romans 8:18, and they're going to be ruling over you heathen too. Okay? There's a monarchy that's coming. That was prophesied in the Bible. Okay? Romans 8:18, for I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Yeah, so the things that you're dealing with today, if you're an Israelite, hey man, it's not even going to be compared to the kingdom that's coming. You about to get baby, man. You about to be treated very well in the kingdom. All Israel. Okay? You can read about that in Isaiah the 60th chapter. Romans 8:19, this is the point that I was trying to get. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. So the whole world's waiting to see who are the sons of God. They want to know. We want to know. We all want to know. We don't have to say we're the hopeful elect anymore. We're going to know who's who. Okay? We're going to see it. In this time, in your lifetime. Lord's will. In my lifetime. Romans 8 in verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected them, same in hope. He's been subjected to this vanity, to this body. Okay? Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. Yeah, this bondage of corruption is talking about this flesh. We're going to be delivered from this too. We don't just need to be saved from the so-called white man. No, we need to be saved from death. Okay? This flesh, we need a new body. so we can keep the law, statutes, and commandments perfectly. Because if we just put Esau in slavery and continue to sin, hey, it defeats the purpose. We need to be changed. Okay? That's what it's talking about. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. Yeah, we travailing like a woman. You know you about to deliver a baby. You're getting those contractions. It hurts. That's how we feel about this time, man. We want this to be over with. We want to be delivered. Romans 8, in verse 22, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. Exactly, the elect of, that's why they're working. That's why when they heard these things, when they tasted of Yahweh Shai, when they tasted of the kingdom to come, that's why they started prophesying. Why wouldn't they want to be a part of that? Because a part of this world, you pretty much nothing, man. You're the offscoring of the earth. Okay, in order to, that's that humiliation that you have before, you get the glory. Just like you see with the dude from Sakari, he going through a humiliation ritual so he can have some consolation on this side, man. No, we want to go through the humiliation of being righteous to be glorified on the other side, just like the Lord did. He's the example. Okay, when you following after somebody else worldly for money and fame, man, that's just you're gonna be nobody in the kingdom to come. As a matter of fact, let's go there to Matthew the 18th chapter. Matthew chapter 18, in verse 1, at the same time came the disciples unto Yahweh Shai, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahweh Shai called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them, and said, verily, you're an Israelite, brother. You read the Bible? Yeah, you Israel. Matthew 18:3, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall, Matthew 18:5, and whoso shall receive one such little child in my name, receiveth me. But whoso shall offend Matthew 18:6, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone would hang about his neck and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. So it's better. Anyway, the greatest in the kingdom of heaven is someone who's humble. Okay, the most humble. Look at how humble Yahweh Shai was, and look at how exalted he is today on the right hand of God. So we should all practice humbling down, okay, so we can get this knowledge, man. Don't act like you know it all, man. Don't act like you're the best thing since sliced bread, man. It's not the case. Being lowly, being meek to the best of your ability, teaching your people, being obedient, making your call on an election sure. Hey, man, do it cheerfully. Okay? Because not everybody's privy to this information. It tells you in Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, that it's a gift from God to have faith, man. Okay? Romans 18:7. Woe unto the world. Woe unto the world because of offenses. For there must needs be that offenses come, but woe to them. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. Yeah, woe to that man. How you doing, brother? Woe to that man. You don't want to be that scoffer. Woe means death and destruction to that man to whom the offense cometh. You don't want to be offended one of the Lord's little ones, man, because the Lord's defending them. All right, and he hears the things that you say. Matthew chapter 18:8. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into the everlasting fire. Yeah, so you gotta watch out for stumbling blocks, man. That they need to be, whatever's stopping you from serving the Lord, you want to cut that off. Okay, it's a parable. All right? Whatever it is, man, whatever's preventing you Ultimately, the Lord's going to do that. Okay? He's going to purge, just like it says in John the 15th chapter. Let's grab that as a matter of fact. He's going to purge. He's going to get things out of your life that's preventing you from serving him. John 15:1, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. The husbandman goes to a garden. He does what he needs to do in order to make sure the garden's fine. That's sort of like what he does with his men. He sends them out there to tend to the garden. John 15:2, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So he's going to be removing things out of your life to make sure that you bring forth more fruit, okay? Fruit meaning like you teach someone this word, they come into the understanding of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That's fruit brought back to the Lord, okay? And them staying in this truth, that's a sign of the Lord cultivating that fruit. Hopefully it's the elect. Okay? Hopefully. But whether it's of the elect or not, you gotta remain in this thing. And if you remain, hey, you're somebody's fruit. Someone taught you this knowledge. And that's how the ministry keeps going. All the way up to the point of everlasting. When we get a new heart, we're not going to be teaching each other anymore, man. We're going to be teaching these heathens. Y'all going to be coming to us to have an understanding of the Lord. Okay? Matthew 18:9. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with one eye rather than having two eyes to be cast into hellfire. Yeah, so same thing, man. You know, whatever's preventing you, you got to get rid of it. All right? You got to go. That's offending you, whatever's preventing you from getting into this thing, man, it needs to be removed. Okay? And your eye could be your wife. You know, the Lord might have to remove your eye, man. Okay? He might have to remove your eye. Let me grab this in the book of Ezekiel. Excuse me. I think it's Ezekiel, the 24th chapter. Ezekiel 24. And in verse 15, also the word of Ezekiel 24:15, also the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes with a stroke, yet neither shalt thou mourn nor weep, neither shall thy tears run down, forbear to cry, make no mourning for the dead, bind the tire of thine head upon thee, and put on thy shoes upon thy feet, and cover not thy lips, and eat not the bread of men. So I spake unto the people in the morning, and at even my wife died, and I did in the morning as I was commanded. So, hey, he had to continue doing this work. Okay? He had a heavy understanding of this. He had a heavy spirit, man. Okay? He had to lay up on his side, man, for a long time, man. So we can get this prophecy so we can know what Esau's doing to our food. Filing it. Okay? Matthew chapter 18. In verse 10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. So there's angels that compass about the righteous. So when you talk shit, they report that to the Lord, and the Lord might send an evil spirit to destroy you. As a matter of fact, let me find that precept. Those evil spirits, man. Or an evil angel, that's what it is. An evil angel. Evil angel, KJV. is the book of Psalms 78 and verse 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. Yeah, those evil angels they're not going to transgress the laws of God, man. They're going to do what the Lord commanded them to do. Okay? Matthew chapter 18 and verse 11, for the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. Yeah, it's come to save that which was lost, man. Okay, that's why they call it the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Let me grab that. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 5, these 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. That's right, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. Is the kingdom of heaven America? No. So there's only one kingdom that's going to be lasting forever, which means this kingdom got to be destroyed. That's what the Bible says, man. The kingdom of heaven. Y'all love the Lord, right? Don't you want him to rule? Don't you want the Lord to rule, man? It says the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Don't people want the kingdom of heaven to come?
Every day.
But that means other kingdoms have to be destroyed. Oh my God, man, the Lord is, oh man, I love this. I love the Lord, man. Y'all want the kingdom of heaven, but you want this place to stay too? Like, what are we talking about here? You want to make this place great again? Come on, man. You don't believe, man. You guys are silly. You guys are silly, man. You want the kingdom of heaven or you want America? Which one you want? You got to choose one. You guys are silly. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And that's America. Okay, just like the Roman Empire, it's the same thing. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And you might as well look up the Roman Empire and see how that fell, and you're going to see a lot of parallels on what's going on here, especially with inflation. They started messing with the coins, the money, they were mixing it. That's what they're doing with your money here. That's why it's going digital. It's inflation. Daniel 2 and verse 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that's what you see with NATO, EU, and America. They're aligned in some areas over here, but they're not aligned over here. Look at Ukraine, for example. Here it is, Donald Duck and Vladimir Putin supposed to be meeting in Alaska so they can stop the war in Ukraine. What the Europeans saying, they backing up Vladimir Zelensky. That's the iron and the miry clay not working together. They should be all on the same page. They should all want what Babylon wants, but that's not the case. The Lord's putting a divide, and they're going to fall just like it's prophesied. Daniel chapter 2, verse 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Yeah, they're two just similar metals. Clay's not even a metal. How is that going to mix with iron? Come on. Makes no sense. And we're on the second foot. The first Roman Empire fell. We're in the second foot of the Nebuchadnezzar's image. This is what Daniel's breaking down. To the ancient king of Babylon, and we're breaking it down to the modern day king of Babylon. Daniel 2 and 44, in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. How you doing, brother? You have a blessed day. Okay? So that it is a kingdom that's going to stand forever and not be left to other people. So that's talking about the Lord. Daniel 2 and 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, how you doing today? You doing good? Hey, that's good. That's good. Hey, that's all right. Hey, no more dope. That's good. That's good.
Jesus, thank you, sir.
All right. Yep. Daniel 2 and 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, that's talking about Yahushua. And that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, yet it's going to break in pieces. Okay? You break something to pieces, you break it in a way that it can't be put back together. That's why you break it into pieces. Imagine you got something, you smash on, you smash glass on the ground and it gets broken into pieces. He's doing that with metals, gold, silver, iron, and that's a representation of these other kings. How you doing today, sir? That's good, man. Daniel chapter 2. Yep, just reading the Bible, sir. That's it. Both. Yeah. Can I ask you a question though? The Bible, I was talking about a kingdom that's going to last forever, that shall never be destroyed. That's the kingdom of heaven. But if that kingdom's not going to be destroyed, he's saying the other kingdoms are. But do people really want that? I don't think people want that. They want this place to be great again. But the Lord said he's going to destroy all kingdoms. Ain't no one going to have no more power. It's the Lord that's going to have all the power.
You think he's going to clean the earth up once again?
Well, he's going to take all the power. This is Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Let me read it again to you. Daniel 2 and 45, for as much as thou sawest the mountain stone. Actually, let me start at 44. Daniel 2 and 44, in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed. Okay? So, but this is a king. That means every other kingdom's going to be destroyed. Right. He's saying his kingdom's never going to be destroyed. Right. That's the only kingdom that's prophesied to never be destroyed. But that means this kingdom's going to be destroyed.
Well, remember Noah.
Right.
He gave Noah and his family a chance.
Well, he destroyed the whole world.
And we're getting to the point where this world looks like it may need another cleansing.
Oh, it's going to be cleansed. But let me finish this with you. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people. So this is talking to the Lord's an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. So he's saying Israel's going to rule here. Yeah.
I believe so everything that's going on in Israel, they're not going to be defeated.
Well,
they're fighting like 5 wars right now.
That's if they're the true Israelites.
If they're true.
Right.
If they're behind God.
Because Isaiah, the 2nd chapter says he would have been bringing them into that land. The Lord didn't bring them in there. They went in there in 1948 under the Balfour Declaration.
They were gone and they came back.
They were gone.
A long time.
But how did they come back? Did the Lord bring them there? The Lord's not back.
They spread out everywhere. All the Jewish people, they spread out everywhere. And then they came back. But like you're right, who came back? Was it the right one?
Right, that's what I'm saying. But let me finish this. But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. So this is talking about the Lord breaking in pieces all of these kingdoms. All means every single kingdom. Every kingdom's going to be worshiping the Lord.
So they're not in the right king.
That's right. That's right. And it shall stand forever. So the Lord's saying, that means every other kingdom got to be destroyed. So we got to know whatever we're dealing with, these wars that are happening, it's not for no reason. There's only one kingdom that's going to be here forever. That's all I'm saying, brother.
Really look at, this that's going on.
Right.
From the north of the
right.
It's just crazy.
And I'm glad you stopped by, man. I'm glad you stopped.
When things get tough, man, the only one that can help is Jesus. He's always there. And not for me.
Yeah. But Jesus said he's going to destroy this place, man. He's going to destroy it. He's tired of all this shit. See, what people want to keep, he want to destroy. He want to destroy shit. He's not happy with what's going on because no one's living righteously.
Remember he came into the temple and that's how he feels again.
Right. That's a good point.
We're just afraid that people are not believers.
That's right.
I can't believe all these people in Hollywood that they're worshiping the devil. And
That's right.
I'm separating myself from all of that.
That's right.
I don't have nothing to do with anything.
Well, the best thing to do,
Right there.
but you got to understand one thing. Salvation's only for the Jews.
Right.
It's only for Israel.
Right.
And a lot of the Israelites, like you said, they were scattered throughout all the world. They ain't all white.
Right.
Israel look white, black, Spanish.
Right.
They're in everything.
Right.
So the true, Rastafarian, and that's who the Lord's calling. He's not calling everybody.
No, right.
So the real Jews, the real Israelites, we don't know what we look like.
Right. They have no color or race.
Right.
They do.
Deuteronomy 28 says they were scattered into all nations.
Right.
So
We can't.
not everyone over there is a Jew.
Right.
I'm just saying, some of them are.
Right.
Because the Lord said that he scattered his sheep through all nations.
Ethiopian, right.
Right. All nations. But the majority of them are here in America.
Yeah. Right.
You know? So that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. You're right.
You know, so a lot of people they think the true believers are really Israelites. They don't know it though.
Yeah.
Because everyone's calling themselves white, black, American.
Like focusing on that. Like
Stupid shit.
Yeah, right.
The Lord didn't say none of that shit.
Right, that doesn't matter.
None of that
That
matters.
doesn't
No.
matter.
It's your spirit
Money
though.
doesn't matter.
It's
None
spirit.
of this
It's your spirit. It's the spirit. It got to be to the truth.
Right.
But if you're receiving it,
Right.
okay, it's only for Israel, brother.
Jesus said, don't worry about money, don't worry about none of that stuff. You're going to be fed, you're going to have roof.
Right. But he said, my servants shall eat.
Yeah.
My servants.
Right.
You got to make sure you're serving the Lord.
Right.
And it's not just doing what I'm doing.
No.
You know, you got to know the
Right
truth.
thing.
You got to know the truth.
Right.
You got to know the truth, man.
Right.
And you already coming to the same conclusion I'm coming to.
Right.
Now that it is all kingdoms going to be destroyed. His kingdom, and if you ain't aligned with that, you are enemy
Right.
towards him.
Exactly.
In majority of this
You
world.
gotta have my ticket to go up there, man.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I don't know how people could say, oh, I'm going to hell and think that's good. That's not good, man.
Right.
That's suffering for eternity.
Well, let me tell you a big secret. Hell
Yeah.
isn't a fiery place. That fiery place is when them thermonuclear missiles come blow this place up.
Right.
Hell is the condition.
Right.
You see, it says the kingdom of heaven separates hell. That means the Israelites, you're in hell because, first of all, you don't know who you are. Imagine you the top nation.
Yeah.
And then you get brought down
Right.
to a point.
Right.
You don't even know who you are anymore.
Right.
That's hell.
Right.
That's the hell.
Right.
You need to be saved out of that low
Right.
position.
Right.
It starts with this knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowing who you are.
Right.
Knowing who the prophecies are. Knowing who the Lord is.
Right.
Now you can stand up. Now you're walking. Now you're talking. Now you're teaching.
Yeah.
Now you're preaching.
Yeah.
Now the kingdom of heaven's here. The Lord's back.
Right.
That's how it works.
I got
You know what I mean?
Hey.
Hey. Shalom, King. Shalom. Yeah. Hey. Hey, man. He pumped me up, man. He pumped me up. That might be a Jake. That might be Jake, man. Lord's will, that's Jake, man. Daniel chapter 2 and verse 45, for as much thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. So the interpretation sure, man. So it's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen, man. You got to be aligned with that, man. You know? You got to be aligned with what's going to happen, man. And that's going into the destruction of all these places. Every kingdom, man. No matter where you're scattered out throughout the world, that ruling power, that's going to be done away with, man. If it's not the Lord, man. All right? And a lot of people, they ain't, come on, man. You think the world wants, they don't, come on. Let's keep it 120, man. They don't want that. This is the book of Luke. Chapter 19. And, I'm gonna start at the top. Luke 19:1, and Yahushua entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. And he sought to see Yahushua, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. And when Yahushua came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house. So here it is, Zacchaeus. He was rich, he was short, he had to climb up a tree to see Yahushua. Yahushua noticed him. He didn't know Yahushua, but Yahushua knew him. Okay? He knew him. What does that mean? Why does that matter? Why is that significant? It's John 10th chapter. Okay. Oh man, she's smoking a cigarette. That shit stinks. It's the book of John, chapter 10. And I'm getting all of that cigarette. I feel like I'm smoking a cigarette right now. John 10. I don't know why that's blowing right over here, hitting me in the face. In verse, I'll start at 25. Yahushua answered him, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one. That's right. I and my Father are one, man. All right? But no one can, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. He says, and I know them, okay? That's the point. John 10. You too, brother, you too. John 10:4, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. You know? Yeah, they know his voice, man. John 4:14, I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and I am known of mine. That's right. I am the good shepherd. He knows his sheep, man. He knows Zacchaeus. Okay? He knows him. We got his precept in 2 Timothy 2:19. Let me grab this. 2 Timothy 2 and verse 19. Nevertheless, the foundation of God standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his, and let everyone that nameth the name of a Mashiach depart from iniquity. Okay, so back to Zacchaeus in Luke the 19th chapter. Luke 19 and verse 6, and he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. So he had to climb a tree because he was low in stature, and there was a lot of people that wanted to see Yahushua, so that's how he made himself known, man. He climbed a tree, man, to be seen in Yahushua, and that's what we're doing, man. We're proclaiming the Lord upon the housetops. Let me grab that as a matter of fact. He tells us to do that, man. What you see in secret, proclaim. What you hear in secret, proclaim upon the housetop, something like that. Matthew 10. Let's go there. Matthew 10. In verse 24, the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the air, that preach ye upon the housetops. That's right, and that's what we're doing. We preaching that upon the housetops, okay? We're not literally upon the housetop, but we're proclaiming the Lord, man. You know, we're putting it up. We're on the highways and hedges. We're putting videos up. We're doing the best we can, man. All right? We're speaking out. We're crying out loud. Spare not, lifting our voices up like a trumpet. Okay? Luke 19:7, and when they saw it, they all murmured, saying that he was gone to be guest with a man that is a sinner. He's going to be guest with a man that is a sinner. And that's another indication of the rich. You know, the Lord got some men that are rich, man. It's very hard, you know, to serve the Lord and be rich, but this man, the Lord, hey, if you are the Lord's sheep, it don't matter what position you're in. You could be very high in society and still be of the Lord's sheep. And some are. Some are, man. Luke 19, in verse 8, and Zacchaeus stood and said unto the Lord, behold, Lord, the half of my goods I give to the poor, and if I have taken anything for any man by false accusation, I restore him fourfold. And Yahushua said unto him, this day is salvation come to this house, for so much as he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. Exactly, he was lost, man. And that's his sheep. All right? And as they heard these things, he added and spake a parable because he was nigh to Jerusalem, and because they thought that the kingdom of God should immediately appear, and that's what a lot of us thought. Especially with Yahushua on the scene in Judah, I would have thought the same thing. Clearly it is. The Lord's here. Let's get it popping. Okay? He said, therefore, Luke 19:12, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. And that's what we're doing. We're occupying the business of the Lord, just like Yahushua was doing. Okay? And we're going to keep occupied until he comes. Just like it says in Isaiah, the 6th chapter. He said he was going to, how long? And he said until everything be wasted and destroyed. And as you can see, things are still going on as usual. And it just look like a normal day. Okay? But we're still doing the work of the Lord. Okay? Luke 19:14, but his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. Exactly. You don't want Yahushua to reign over you. No, I want to make America great again. I want to put a red hat on and rally with Trump. Rally with Duck. No, it's not going to happen, man. This place is going to be destroyed. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to trade this word. Okay? I'm trying to trade, man. And I think that dude, he looked like a white dude. But he looked at the sun, so I had to talk to him. I had to talk to him a little bit, man. See if he was going to receive it or not. You know? They don't want to see Israel rule, man. Even if you believe that the small hat is if he's Israel, you want to see him rule the whole world with the Most High? Come on, man. Let's be 100%, man. Nobody wants to see the small hat rule the world. He's already ruling the world. And look at this place, man. It's about to get even more wicked than it is today because he's in rulership. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So, don't you want to see the true Israelites rule? We already seen what the false ones do, what they're up to. There shouldn't be any war if they were in the land. All that should be done away with. We should be going up there saying, look how great your knowledge is, man. What are you going to teach you about the stock market, how to be wicked? You might have to sacrifice your kid, man, to make it in this society, man. You might have to eat human flesh. Okay? Who wants that? So you can have a big-ass yacht? Come on, man. Come on. When the whole world was created for you, if you're Israel, come on. Get the hell out of here. You got to put a small hat on? Come on. Come on. Those hats are ugly, man. Big stupid ass hats looking dumb as hell. And dance. They don't got no soul, man. Unless they're Israel. And the ones who are Israel, they probably getting beat up in the street over there. They got protesters over there. How you doing, brother? That's a Jake. Leaning on a scooter, man. Leaning on a scooter, man. That is funny as hell. But look at you going. I don't want them to rule. I'm tired of them damn devils. Luke 19 and verse 14, but his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. And that's how this world is, man. Y'all don't want Yahweh Shah to reign over you because this got to be destroyed. Every kingdom that you see, it has to be destroyed, man. In order for the Lord's coming to destroy it. I don't know if you skipped that part in the Bible, man. So the things that, when you see this place starting to be destroyed and your rights being taken away and all this, hey, man, you got to be rejoicing in the word of the Lord, man. Because he said this place is not going to be forever. That the things that you suffering now in Romans the 8th chapter is not going to be compared to the kingdom, man. All right? But you got to go through the straight gate. Luke 19 and verse 15, and it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Man, we're trying to trade. We're trading, man. This word, man. We're trying to get him increase. We're trying to get increase with what we were given. With the knowledge and wisdom that we were given, we all got a measure, but we're trying to flip it. Okay? Then came the first saying, Lord, thy pound have gained 10 pounds. Now imagine that. Give somebody a pound and you come back with 10 pounds, man. Come on, man. You know what that means, man. And he said unto them, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. Look at that, man. 10 cities. Look at one city. One city's already got so much shit. Man, 10, man. I want to, this is how you got to get that working. You got to get that work out. Luke 19 and 17, and he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Lord, thy pound have gained 5 pounds. And he said, likewise to him, be thou also over 5 cities. And another came, saying, Lord, behold, there is thy pound. Here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. And the majority of Israel, you got this word, and you laid it up in a napkin. You laid it up in a napkin, man. You can't even say he didn't give you this word. Even if you a Christian, you came across Hebrew Israelites and you scoffed up against it, you got this word and you laid up this knowledge in a napkin, man. Okay? Let's keep going. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man. Oh, you're not like Jesus Christ. Jesus is nice and lowly. He wanted her to fly, right? He wanted to do nothing. No, it says he's an austere man. We told you about Yahweh Shai. He sounded austere to you. Okay? So you heard the word. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow. And he saith unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taken up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. So you knew how it was, man. You knew what it was, man. You knew I was going to destroy this place if you didn't have my money, man. Just like a gorilla pimp. What does the gorilla pimp do when one of his women ain't got no money? Is he happy to see her? Or does he smack the shit out of her? And that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to get judged, man. You're going to get smacked with some form of punishment, some form of judgment. Because you ain't have the money, man. That's what it's like. That's how I look at this verse, man. To try to make it plain, because a lot of people, they don't see the Lord as being austere. They don't see the Lord as taking up something he didn't sow. Imagine someone taking something he didn't sow. Okay? That's like Debo, right? He didn't buy the chain off dude's neck, but he took it, right? That's austere. That's what this is saying, man. I know thou takest what thou did not sow. Yeah, that's the old way of saying the same thing, man. You're supposed to be fearing the Lord, man, and you ain't giving him that fear, man. That's why you act that way. You lack fear for the Lord, and watch what's going to happen to you. Luke chapter 19 and verse 22, and he saith unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man, taken up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury? And he said unto them that stood by, take from him that pound, take from him the pound, and give it to him that have 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he have 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto everyone which have, Luke 19 and 26, for I say unto you, that unto everyone which have shall be given, and from him that have not, even that he have shall be taken away from him. So you think you had some knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua, ain't gonna take that away from you, man. You give it to him who got 10 pounds, man. So that's more knowledge coming to those who already have it. Those who are already doing the work. How you doing, brother? You know? Luke chapter 19, in verse 26, for I say unto you, that unto everyone that have shall be given, and from him that have not, even that he have shall be taken away from him. So you didn't even have much, but he'll take that away from you. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So you don't want the Lord to rule. Bring them hither and slay them before me. And I'm going to end it right there. Lord's will, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakha, Wadash, Shalom, Abba Ball, Kwam Yasharallah. She said, Marta Lorianne, why are you so upset reading the Bible and talking shit all in one? LOL. You know, that's a good question, man. You find out how you're supposed to act according to the Bible, and I'll answer you. Shalom.